A massive zombie infection swept across every corner of the map, infected that exist for one purpose only, to find you. They're smart enough to track you from hundreds of blocks away, patient enough to wait, and dangerous enough to swarm you the second you let your guard down. But the zombies? They're not even the worst part. Alongside the outbreak came a permanent winter, a brutal, relentless cold that buried the entire world under a thick layer of snow, draining your body heat every second you spend outside. So now you're not just running from the infected, you're freezing to death at the same time, and it gets worse. There's a thirst bar constantly ticking down, forcing you to find clean, drinkable water in a world that's trying to kill you. A localized damage system where a hit to the wrong body part can cripple you mid-fight, and at night, the infected don't just wander. They organize, they form hordes, and they come for you together. Our goal is to survive all of it. We'll craft and modify weapons to fight back against the infected, build walls strong enough to hold back the hordes that come every night, work alongside the villagers to defend what little safety we have left. And on the final day, we face the biggest horde this world has ever seen. Everything we've built, everything we've survived comes down to one last stand until sunrise. Get comfortable, because this is going to be brutal. And here we are, spawning into this merciless frozen world. Our body temperature starts dropping immediately, but lucky for us, we've got a 10-minute temperature immunity window, just enough time to get ourselves set up on day one. So without wasting a single second, I went straight for wood, threw down a crafting table, made a wooden pickaxe, and immediately went for stone. Goodbye, wooden pickaxe. After that, I crafted a stone pickaxe, and used it to mine more cobblestone to make an axe, useful for gathering wood, but more importantly for defending ourselves against the infected. After that, I grabbed some coal that was just sitting on the side of this mountain. Free minerals. Can't say no to that. The coal led me straight into a small cave, which obviously I went into. Inside there were cobwebs, so I crafted a sword to clear them out. The string is going to be essential later. We can't leave that behind. There was also some copper in there, which we're going to need to craft our ammo, but I still needed iron, so I pushed deeper into the cave. This place gave off some serious bad vibes. And that's when we ran into our first infected. Honestly, terrifying. Luckily, it couldn't reach us. So I took it out and immediately got out of there, because if more of those things showed up, we were joining them on day one. Outside the cave, we found bones on the ground. Grabbed those. And a little further ahead, we came across a structure. Inside the chest, there was some solid food, and the whole thing was made of wool. Obviously, we started stripping it down. We're gonna need that wool for our armor, and inside there was a massive amount of hay. Food is not gonna be a problem for the next few days. Just outside the structure, we found 2 igloos. This might be where we spend the night, but the second I got close, a zombie started sprinting at us. Without even thinking, I jumped up onto some blocks and started axing it. And when it died, it exploded. Turns out this one was a creeper zombie hybrid or something, because that thing went out with a full-on explosion. The zombies in this world are absolutely unhinged. Apparently 2 villagers live in these igloos. Hope they don't mind us crashing here for the night. Inside I found some bread, charcoal, and a few emeralds. Pretty solid loot. After surviving our first night, on day 2 I went straight out for wood, but our temperature immunity had worn off completely, and the cold started closing in fast. So using the wool we'd grabbed earlier, I crafted wool boots and wool pants. They're not going to do much against attacks, but they'll keep us from freezing to death. And right now, that's what matters. After that, I spotted a small water source in the distance and went to drink. Thirst is going to become a serious problem soon, and I wanted to get ahead of it. After chopping down a tree, I noticed the wood was a weird greenish color. Honestly, not a fan. I kept a stack just in case we need the blocks and tossed the rest. A little deeper into this small forest, I grabbed some campfires that were just sitting around. The charcoal is going to come in handy. While exploring the area, we ran into a wandering trader. Hope he doesn't mind us helping ourselves to some of his stuff. Pushing forward, we found a cave, and right at the entrance, there was iron. Obviously, we started mining it immediately. While mining, I noticed the thirst bar starting to drop, so I made a quick detour back to the water source to hydrate before it became a problem. After that, I came down off the mountain to explore the frozen wasteland below. Found some cows. Their leather is going to be really useful, so I took out 2 of them. but left the calf and its mom alone. Back at our temporary base, with the leather we'd collected, I immediately crafted a backpack. Exploring a world this brutal without extra inventory space is not an option. Then night started closing in, and to make sure the zombies didn't eat the villagers, I locked them inside the igloo with me. That night was rough. The infected somehow knew exactly where we were hiding. We couldn't sleep, they wouldn't leave, and on top of that, the temperature at night drops so fast it almost froze us solid. Just listen to these zombies. They're not just terrifying, there are so many of them, and the worst part, they can track us. We're going to need a plan to deal with them in the morning once the temperature goes back up. After one brutal, freezing night, the sun finally came up. But these zombies don't burn. We're going to need to find another way out. So I dug into the floor of the igloo, got the villagers down into the tunnel, and started carving a way out underground. No way I was leaving them behind. After a long underground escape route, we finally started seeing daylight, and then the horde completely blocked it out. They were right on top of us. Luckily, they couldn't reach us from that position. But the sheer number of infected out there is genuinely insane. There's even one with TNT blowing massive craters in the ground. After taking out most of them, we finally pushed to the surface and finished off the stragglers. The villagers walked out, looked around, and headed straight back to their igloos like nothing happened. So we hydrated, said goodbye to our villager friends, and set off into the frozen wasteland. There's nothing left for us here. After exploring for a good while, we found a heat fern. This is going to be super useful for upgrading our armor to resist the cold better. Nearby there was a chest with some decent loot, food, and a few emeralds, and just as we kept moving, we spotted something really weird behind us. Some kind of strange structure. No idea what it is. Maybe a deteriorated beacon or something like that. But when we got closer, there was iron inside, so we grabbed it without hesitation. After smelting the iron for a while, I realized we had a real problem. Night was right around the corner, and we were completely exposed. If the infected didn't get us, the cold would. But lucky for us, we spotted a massive village in the distance. So with the cold already setting in, we pushed toward it. Please let them take us in. This village is insane. They even have guard villagers patrolling at night. I found a house I liked. I'm taking it. It's mine now. After sleeping through the night, day 4 started with us getting our loot organized in our new home. We're going to renovate this place properly down the road and make it actually look great. We also got the iron we'd collected smelting in the furnaces that the house already had convenient. While the iron was cooking, I went to explore the village and raid the chests. The loot was genuinely really good, mostly bread, coal, emeralds, more food, and some redstone, all useful stuff. After that, I planted some spruce saplings outside to make getting wood way easier going forward. After that, I took some of the smelted iron and upgraded our backpack, so it'd have more capacity and we could stash a lot more resources in it. Then after upgrading our tools to iron, we used some bone meal to grow out the tree. Once we chopped it down, we used the wood to fix up our whole base. It still had a dirt floor, and honestly, that was bugging me. After we finished decorating the house, we grabbed some water and, with a bit of dirt we had on hand, went to rebuild part of the village that a horde had apparently wrecked before we even got here. Once we patched up all the holes, we lit up the inside of the crater so zombies couldn't spawn in that area. By day 5, after sleeping through the night, we managed to seal up this whole crater. Next, with the iron we had, we went ahead and crafted a helmet and a chest plate. Because we were extremely vulnerable to physical attacks, with the protection we had at the time, a single hit from a zombie could basically wipe out all our progress. After that, I planted the seeds we'd gotten from the sun ferns. So down the line we'd be able to add cold resistance to our armor. We kept exploring the village, specifically the other side we hadn't gotten to yet. We found a chest with some wool and a blacksmith shop that had an iron pickaxe that would come in pretty handy, plus a magma block which would literally be essential for staying warm at night. After checking out a few more houses, we scored a bit more emerald and some bread. We ran into another blacksmith shop. Looks like it was our lucky day, because this one gave us 2 more iron pickaxes and an iron shovel. Feeling like we'd just hit the jackpot, I headed straight for the mines. I couldn't wait to grab some ores and start crafting our arsenal. We started digging into the small hill right next to our base, and built a small entrance so it wouldn't look ugly. Then we started tunneling downward, but to make sure nothing could crawl out of this spot and into the village, before going any deeper, I decided to put up some fence gates so nothing could get in or out. After digging a bit further, we ran into a cave, and as soon as we peeked in, a witch chucked a poison potion at us. With our hearts draining nonstop, we decided to back off. Once we healed back up, we peeked in again and started scoping out what ores we could mine. We managed to spot some iron in the distance, so using those green planks we're not exactly fans of, we started tunneling our way toward the ores. The cold in these caves is no joke. The moment we went in, we started freezing up fast. Those low temperatures combined with the dangerous infected make this place seriously dangerous, so we had to be extra careful. To fight off the cold, we used magma blocks to keep from freezing. Those things are ridiculously useful. And in the distance, we spotted our very first diamonds, so we hurried over to grab them. Only 2, but hey, something. With that haul, I decided to call it and head back. The cold was starting to become a real problem, and the number of infected kept climbing. While trying to escape, an infected dropped down from above and started attacking us from behind. Luckily, we had a shield to block its hits. On the way out, we picked up a bit more iron and finally made it back to the exit. Unfortunately, we came out of the cave with a broken leg, but nothing a good night's sleep couldn't fix. For the rest of day 7, I fed the cows and looted around the village a bit more, picking up a kitchen knife and a water bucket, which I used to grab some lava from behind our house. That'll come in handy as a solid heat source. As night started to roll in, we got lucky enough to catch this gorgeous view. Sadly, it wouldn't last long, because once the sun's fully down, this whole landscape fills up with infected. After sleeping, we woke up on day 8 good as new. The broken leg was all healed up. Then we went straight for the spruce tree we'd planted. That thing was going to give us a ton of wood. With the wood and iron we'd gathered over the past few days, we started prepping our arsenal. Since starting on day 10, hordes would begin showing up every 10 days, and to hold them off and keep the village safe, we needed to be well equipped. So we crafted the gunsmith table and threw some copper in the furnace, which we needed to build the ammo assembly table. That's where we'd be able to craft our ammo. To make ammo, we needed gunpowder. But in this infected winter, creepers don't exist anymore, so we'd have to make our own gunpowder from scratch. After going through all the weapons we could craft, we decided to build ourselves a Glock 17, along with some ammo. Pretty basic loadout for an apocalypse. But hopefully it's enough to survive the day 10 horde, the first of many still to come. After that, I figured our base was missing something to keep it warm, so I decided to build 2 campfires and place them under our furnaces. Now our home was going to be a way cozier place. After that, I started looking into what other weapons we could craft. There's honestly a huge range of rifles we're definitely going to build down the line. For the rest of day 8, I fed our cows a bit, walked around the village, and locked in a villager in a house near ours to be our Fletcher. With him, we'd be able to farm plenty of emeralds to upgrade the village. After a good while farming emeralds, we decided to set up a blast furnace for another villager. This one gives us strong, sturdy armor, not just for us, but for the villager guards too, since we needed them tough enough to hold off the infected, because there's no way I'm handling them alone. We bought a big batch of iron armor from the armorer, and crafted some swords to gear up and prep a few villagers. We equipped the first one and made him a shield so he could block a good chunk of damage. Using a bit of bone meal, I decided to speed up the tree's growth since the first horde was right around the corner. We had to hurry. After trading with the Fletcher and stacking up emeralds, we leveled up the armorer by buying boots for our guards, and lucky for us, he now sells shields for just 1 emerald. The villagers could get way better equipped at a low cost. Waking up on day 10, we headed out to scout for resources, and luckily we found a bunch of cows so their leather would come in handy. When we got back to the village, we started gearing up tonight. Things were about to get ugly. We leveled up the armorer again, and he started selling diamond armor. That's some serious progress. Down the line, we'll be able to gear up our villagers in full diamond. But we're not quite there yet, so we equipped a few more villagers with what we already had on hand. We bred a few cows and got some leather, then went ahead and crafted ourselves a canteen, so we could store 10 portions of water and purify it in our furnace. While the water was boiling, I crafted a new axe, since ours was about to break. After that, the sun slowly started going down. The first horde had to be showing up any minute. Listen to that scream. That means the horde's already here. Oh no, look how many there are. There are way too many of them. Thank God the sun is finally coming up. The villagers saved us tonight. That was a brutal night, and the worst part, this is just the beginning. Every 10 days, the hordes get worse. Bigger, smarter, more organized, with zombies that are stronger and harder to kill. On day 11, we started by grabbing some wood, traded with the Fletcher, and leveled up the armorer. He's now offering a full diamond armor set. So I brought over a smithing table to turn one of the villagers into a toolsmith. He'll provide better tools for both me and the village guards. Also, just look at that landscape. Stunning. On day 12, our planted trees still hadn't grown, and we desperately needed wood to keep trading, so I headed out to find some in the surrounding area. After chopping down a few trees, I decided to check out a nearby cave, and immediately a fast infected came sprinting out. That thing hit like a truck, almost ended 12 days of progress right then and there. After that scare, I grabbed a bit more wood and headed home. Lucky for us, our tree had finally grown, and it gave us a massive amount of wood. After stacking up a solid amount of emeralds, we started leveling up the toolsmith. But to keep leveling him, he needed iron trades. So we went to sleep and set off first thing on day 13 to go find some. I tried entering a cave just outside the village, completely overrun with infected. Not worth it. Surface mining it is. Specifically up on the mountain. After searching for a while, we found a decent amount, and getting back on day 14, we traded it all with the toolsmith. Still not enough to finish leveling him. But while we were at it, we bought a diamond chest plate. We're officially more resistant against the infected now. For the rest of day 14, we kept searching, and found some more iron. But we also found something way worse. We found the gear. Or Companion's gear. The exact equipment we gave them. They were killed on the night of day 10. This can't happen again. We need to be ready before day 20, or we're looking at another massacre. Back home on day 15, we leveled up the toolsmith, and he started offering iron axes enchanted with Unbreaking 2 and Efficiency 2, really useful for chopping wood faster. After a long day of logging and trading, we bought our second diamond piece. We're getting there. Now, before we can grab the boots and pants, we need more ferns, because we need to upgrade our diamond armor for cold resistance first. Without at least 2 pieces of wool armor, the cold would finish us off before the zombies even got the chance. Day 16 hit, and reality set in fast. We're 4 days away from the second horde, and we are nowhere near ready, so we crafted some bullets to improve our firepower, and dropped into our cave to grind for thread and iron. After a long mining session and fighting through a ton of infected, we walked out with a solid amount of iron and a bit of gold. No cobwebs though, nothing. On day 17 we headed out specifically to hunt for cobwebs because we need thread, and finding spiders on the surface is basically impossible. We were going to have to go deep, but on the way we stumbled across a small water pool sitting on top of a massive magma deposit. That's going to help a lot against the cold. Coming back empty-handed, we decided to upgrade our loadout before going back underground, because the caves are the only place we're going to find cobwebs, So we leveled up the toolsmith one more time, and he started offering an enchanted diamond axe. Bought it without thinking twice. Let's go. And on day 18, with the clock ticking, we went straight into one of the caves surrounding the village, packed with infected, carefully pushing in. We found our first cobweb. We've got some thread. We looted a minecart that had some solid stuff inside, then pushed deeper into the mine shaft. Inside, tons of iron, and an absolute goldmine of cobwebs. So with some urgency, I started pulling as much thread as I could and got out of there. Back home, I traded with the Fletcher and bought diamond pants. But before we could equip them, we needed to reinforce our diamond armor for cold resistance first, because without that we can't ditch the wool pieces. So using the thread we'd collected and the sun fern leaves, we crafted warm strings, then warming coats, and upgraded our helmet and chest plate for cold resistance. Now we can finally swap out our wool pieces for full diamond, better protection against both the cold and the infected. So for the rest of day 19, we kept trading with the Fletcher to get our last diamond piece, and finally, after 19 days, we are full diamond. So for the rest of day 19, I went out to grind stone using a diamond pickaxe I bought from the toolsmith, because to stop future hordes from surrounding and demolishing our village, we're going to need to build a massive wall around the entire perimeter. After a solid mining session, we came back with all of this stone. It'll be useful later, but right now we need to prepare for the horde hitting tonight. We got some charcoal smelting, geared up some of the villagers so they could actually fight back, crafted more ammo, and waited. After spending most of the night fighting for our lives, the zombies managed to massacre a large chunk of the villagers and broke multiple body parts in the process. The worst part? There were simply too many of them. We were completely surrounded. The only play was to wait for sunrise and figure something out, and then it hit me. If they want to group up and swarm us, we'll use that against them. We get up high, and we rain TNT down on them from above. The sun came up, the horde is gone, we made it, but the village didn't. A huge part of it didn't survive the night. We need to be in a completely different position before day 30, because if we're not, that's where this run ends. For the rest of day 21, after that absolute disaster, we got to work repairing the village, patching holes with dirt, hunting down the zombies still wandering around, and pulling surviving villagers out of danger. The good news? Most of the civilian villagers made it. The bad news? Every single military villager we had is gone. The horde wiped them all out. After spending all of day 21 on repairs, night finally fell, and for once we actually got to sleep. Waking up on day 22, a full night's rest, and we're feeling like new. Time to make sure day 30 doesn't end the same way day 20 did. So we bred the cows, chopped some wood, collected the stone and charcoal we'd left smelting, and stored the gear from our fallen villager soldiers. They deserved better. On day 23, we got a villager settled into the house next to ours and set him up as a farmer. With him, we can keep the villagers fed so they can breed and slowly bring this village back to life. And as a bonus, we get an infinite food source for ourselves. Moving into day 24, we started mining industrial amounts of stone because we're building a wall that no horde is ever getting through again. We also got several stacks of cobblestone smelting because I don't just want a wall that works, I want a wall that looks good, functional, and clean. With the stone cooking, we officially broke ground on the Great Wall. Halfway through, I ran out of stone, so I went back to grab what was smelting and whatever extra cobblestone we had stored. Not enough, went out and got more. This is everything we've got now, it should be enough. After finishing the stone foundation of the wall on day 27, we started building the entrance. Because honestly, with what we're building here, this place is starting to look like a medieval fortress. My original plan was some kind of gate with fences, but I scrapped that and went with a wide open entrance instead, using spruce logs to add depth, placed both inside and outside the cobblestone base. From there I built a staircase up to the top of the wall so we'd have the high ground against whatever comes from outside. Then at the entrance, I dug a pit, so any zombie that tries to walk in falls straight down into it, easy pickings. I finished it off with spruce stairs, wood slabs, and stone slabs to give the whole structure better shape and make it actually look good. With the functional part of the wall done, we headed home to smelt the remaining cobblestone so we could make the wall look as good as it performs. Waking up on day 28, first thing we did was replant our sunleaf ferns. We're going to need those to keep upgrading our armor down the road. Then we went straight back to the wall. Plain cobblestone isn't doing it for me, so we're adding stone bricks into the mix. 3 different stone types, better texture, better detail. By the end of day 28, we'd upgraded almost half the wall. The game also blessed us with this incredible view at sunset, genuinely stunning. Waking up on day 29, with the horde right around the corner, we grabbed the last of the smelted cobblestone and pushed to finish the wall with some urgency. And after one very long grind, by day 30, the walls are done. They look so much better. I wanted to fully finish everything before tonight, but the horde isn't waiting. So it's time to prepare and make sure day 20 never happens again. With just a few minutes before the day 30 horde arrives, we started lighting up the entire interior of the wall, every corner, every shadow, to stop the horde from spawning inside the village and keep the mobs from creeping in. We pulled out the old lampposts and redesigned them, cobblestone fences with lanterns on top, spread out for better coverage. Anywhere we couldn't reach with a lantern, we placed torches. As the sun started going down, we were placing the last lights in the final section of the village. Fingers crossed, everything's covered. And honestly, the lighting and the wall worked. No hordes spawning inside the village. Nothing. Except for one infected that somehow slipped through, and this thing will not die. I've been hitting it with the axe for a while now, and it just tanks every hit. Too much health. And if that wasn't bad enough, the cold, our 2 biggest threats, decided to show up at the same time. Horde night and a full-on winter snowstorm. The temperature drops the second it starts snowing, and being outside becomes genuinely dangerous. Tonight is not going to be easy. Another zombie got in, then a third, and they started stacking on top of each other, trying to reach me. When I saw a 4th one coming, I decided it was time to get out of there. I broke out and pushed straight toward the outer edge of the village to keep the zombies away from the villagers. Reaching the wall, I climbed up as high as I could. Just look at how many there are. They keep coming from everywhere. Luckily, they can't reach me up here. And the sun is almost up, but this snowstorm is pushing my temperature into dangerous territory. Thank God we have this magma block keeping us just warm enough. Once the sun came up and day 31 arrived, I moved away from the wall before doing anything. Didn't want to blow up our own defenses. Then, taking full advantage of how the infected group up, I started raining TNT down on them. Tonight, we survived, and the village made it through. Coming down from the wall, I went straight home to grab our lava bucket, because the zombies that tried to break in and fell into the pit, still down there. Lava takes care of that pretty efficiently. After that, we patched up the TNT damage, and without wasting another second, grabbed the wood we'd collected in the previous days to finish off the wall. I want to add some finishing details to make it look cleaner and perform even better. Because the next hordes are going to be stronger than anything we've seen. We need a better wall and better gear, or we're not making it. I started placing log pillars every 5 blocks along the top. After spending all of day 31 laying the base for each one, on day 32 we started building them up. Once the interior pillars were done, we started connecting them with spruce slabs, building a walkway so we can patrol and watch the outside from on top of the wall. This is going to be a game changer for attacking hordes from the high ground. By the end of day 33, every pillar on the interior side was connected, but we'd only done the inside. The exterior still needed to be done. So on day 34, we went out to chop wood to get started on the outer side, but we didn't have nearly enough. While waiting for another tree to grow back, we made the most of the day, traded food with the villagers, lit up more of the village to make zombie spawning harder for the day 40 and 50 hordes, and harvested our sun ferns that had grown nicely. We used them to craft the cold resistance upgrades for our pants, and at this point we're basically immune to the cold. Every day we get a better grip on this brutal world. With what was left of day 34, I decided to test out an idea I'd been sitting on, using the stalactites we found in the caves earlier as spike traps at the village entrance. So infected take damage the second they try to walk in. We'll see how that plays out on day 40. On day 35, our spruce saplings had turned into massive trees. So with all that fresh wood, we started placing the exterior pillars along the wall. This is going to take a while. After literally an entire day of work, on day 36 we finally got every last exterior pillar placed. So we started connecting them with slabs, and down the road, we could station an army of villagers up here with crossbows and bows to defend the village from this position. That could be absolutely insane. After another hard day of building, on day 37 the full walkway was done. But for extra safety, and to make the wall actually look like it means business, I started placing fences along the outer edge. No villagers falling off this wall into a hungry zombie horde on my watch. After placing as many fences as we had materials for, we ran out of wood. So I used the rest of the day to light up the wall instead, making sure no zombie could spawn up here and get access to the village. Used the fence posts to hold the torches. On day 38, day 40 was closing in fast. The second hardest horde we're going to face in this entire video, only topped by day 50, which is going to be an absolutely grotesque number of infected. So we quickly got back to placing the remaining fences on the wall. Once that was done, here's how it looked. Honestly, not just incredibly useful and safe, but genuinely impressive. And after all that building, I needed some action. It's time to craft a rifle, because a basic pistol isn't going to cut it against a full-on horde. So I looked into what rifles we could actually build with our current materials, and unfortunately, we can't do much yet. I want that M16, so we're going to need to find more materials, specifically lapis lazuli. On day 39, we dropped back into the mineshaft we'd explored before. We hadn't gone through all of it, so I wanted to see what it was hiding. Honestly, nothing impressive. The only highlight was a zombie carrying a backpack. Took it out and it dropped it inside. Actually really useful stuff. A ton of gunpowder, some gold and bones. We'll take it. Since we still hadn't found any lapis, we headed to our original mine, the first one we ever dug. It's deeper, there has to be some down there. And there was. We found lapis lazuli. So with everything we needed in hand, I rushed back up to the surface. I can't wait to craft this thing. Back home, we looked at the recipe and we built it. Just look at this rifle. The infected are going to start fearing us for once. But obviously a rifle needs bullets, so I got some copper smelting to craft a solid amount of ammo and made a bit more gunpowder while we were at it. While the copper was smelting, I didn't want to waste a single second of downtime, so I grabbed the ice stalactites and regular ones I'd been saving and went to upgrade the village entrance to make it even more effective against the infected. I made the pit deeper and filled it with spikes. They're going to think twice before trying to walk through here. Once that was done, I came back and grabbed the smelted copper to finally craft our ammo. Rifle rounds are more expensive than pistol bullets. They need more copper and more gunpowder. But now we're loaded, we're ready for tonight. While waiting for the horde, I spent the time trading food with the villagers and giving it to them so they'd breed. I want this village full of people again, happily walking around like nothing ever happened. Now that we have a wall, keeping them safe is actually possible. And as one last piece of prep before nightfall, I upgraded our diamond boots for cold resistance. So now every single piece of our armor is fully protected against the cold. One less thing to worry about. Once night hit, I climbed to the top of the wall and started watching the exterior with our rifle, waiting for the horde to show up so I could open fire. But things didn't go the way I planned. Somehow, the village was already full of zombies. And no matter how many rounds I put into them, they would not go down. Either this rifle shoots paintballs, or these zombies are on something. With not many options left, I tried to funnel them into the entrance pit, but there were zombies outside the wall too. They started closing in from both sides, and when I thought about jumping back in, I realized that was a terrible idea. I'd fall straight into the spike pit and become an easy meal. So I started running and climbing up high to focus on protecting the villagers while the zombies tried to reach me. Using the rifle, I picked off the infected that were getting too close to the villagers. Somehow, we managed to save one from a distance with the last shots we had. Just look at how many there are. They're pouring in from every direction. Multiple hordes, all organizing, all moving toward us. We've got 12 bullets left, and given how much these zombies can tank, I'm not sure we can even take one down with that. They just keep coming. I honestly have no idea how we're going to clear these out once the sun comes up. When sunrise finally started, I grabbed our lava bucket and started bathing the infected in it. It was the only viable solution I could think of. And that's when it hit me. These zombies are just too strong. One of them literally swam through the lava and almost climbed all the way up to me. I don't even want to think about what the infected are going to be like on day 50. We need to seriously upgrade our arsenal because whatever we have right now is not going to be enough. Once I finally cleared that horde, I came down and finished off the infected still trapped in our pit. These things are genuinely unreal. One of them was just casually taking a lava bath. After that, I went to check on the village, and somehow, every single villager had managed to hide inside their houses while the zombies overran us. The village made it through. Everyone's okay. For the rest of day 41, I focused on lighting up the village even better. I'm not letting day 50 spawn hordes inside our walls again. With a bit of time left over, I went and ground out some emeralds with the Fletcher. Then night finally came. We slept, and woke up on day 42, feeling completely refreshed. Walking through the village streets, a little quieter than usual, we ran into 2 zombies trapped in someone's garden, taken care of. After that, we traded with the farmer for more bread, and leveled him up in the process, then used the bread to get the villagers breeding again. Then we found a few villagers who'd been hiding at the top of a tower. Since the village is reasonably safe now, we let them come down. The streets are starting to feel alive again. On day 40, we ran out of ammo way too fast. That's not happening again, so for the rest of day 42, we went out to grind resources and come back ready to craft a ridiculous amount of bullets. Back on day 43, we grabbed some wood, traded with the Fletcher. Our future guards are going to need better weapons. Then grabbed the copper we'd left smelting, made more gunpowder, and got to work crafting an absolutely grotesque amount of ammo. This time we're not running out. Roughly 372 bullets total, almost a third of our entire inventory is just ammo. We're ready. For the rest of day 43, we tried leveling up the farmer more, but ran out of emeralds before we could finish. We'll come back to that. So instead we turned our attention to upgrading our rifle. We crafted the attachment table, which lets us build modifications and improvements for our weapons. Just look at how many upgrade options there are. We spent the whole night going through them and collecting the resources we'd need. And the best part? We can actually do this at night now. The village is safe enough that nighttime is just extra productivity time. On day 44, we dropped into the caves to grind for more resources. We're maxing out this rifle. And honestly, we go down way more confidently now. We're strong enough that single infected aren't even a threat anymore. It takes a full horde to actually scare us. We found a bit of everything. Some gold, some redstone, and a solid amount of iron. Should be enough. Back on the surface, we grabbed some wood, traded with the villagers, and got all the minerals we'd collected smelting. Taking advantage of being able to play through the night now, we went to trade with the farmer to level him up. So we bought some of his suspicious stews. The first one I bought poisoned me. Pretty sure I got scammed. The second one at least didn't try to kill me. Gave me night vision. For 3 seconds. Yeah, not exactly useful. But what is going to be useful? Golden carrots. The farmer unlocked them after leveling up. One of the best foods in the game. We're eating well from here on out. For the rest of night 44, we sat down and figured out the best modifications compatible with our rifle, then started building them out one by one. Just look at how this rifle is looking now, it's absolutely insane. On day 45, waking up and walking outside, the village actually feels alive. New villagers walking around, going about their day, completely unbothered. We built a safe place in the middle of a world that wants us dead. That's genuinely something. After that, we went to grab wood for more trades, switched our food supply over to golden carrots, and handed the old bread to the villagers. Then we grabbed the gear from our fallen guards and gave it to a villager. The village needs someone defending it against the smaller threats. A zombie getting in here, and there's always possible. After that, we ground out more emeralds and fed more food to the villagers. I want this village packed. On the morning of day 46, one of the infected stuck in the pit launched a TNT at us. Legitimately dangerous lava solved that problem. After that, we grabbed some emeralds and used our remaining sticks to build staircases at multiple points along the wall, so we're not limited to one single way up at the entrance. On day 47, with a few more emeralds in hand, we bought a diamond helmet and chestplate for our guard. This villager is going to be a problem for any zombie that gets close. On day 48, we earned enough to buy the rest of the diamond set. Our guard is now full diamond. The infected should be scared. After that, we grabbed more emeralds, bought more golden carrots, and started getting mentally ready. Day 50 is almost here, and for the first time, I actually feel like we're going to be ready for it. The villagers even summoned an iron golem. If any zombie gets through, it's going to have a very bad time trying to reach the civilians. When night fell, I had a thought. 370 bullets might not actually be enough, so I went out in the dark to find sugarcane for more gunpowder. There were zombies everywhere, but we got enough sugarcane. Nights outside the walls are genuinely terrifying. Back home, I grabbed more copper for the ammo, got a big batch smelting, and ended up crafting 15 gunpowder. After burning through almost everything we had, we walked away with over 500 bullets total. Now we're ready, or at least I really hope so. On day 49, I earned some more emeralds, and bought a power 2 bow, then handed it to a villager posted up in one of the towers. He can defend the area from high ground with zero risk to himself. Then I recruited another villager as an archer. Ranged combat means they're way less likely to die. and they can support us against the horde from a safe distance. On day 50, we escorted our soldiers to the village entrance to set up for the night. Everything is in position. All we can do now is wait. Here's our loadout. I hope it's enough. They're here and there are so many of them. Please let that pit be deep enough to hold them. They're stacking on top of each other trying to climb in. We have to hold the line. Oh no, they're getting through the sides of the wall. Some of them are pushing into the heart of the village. I need to draw them toward the entrance and away from the civilians. Come on, almost there, the sun is starting to come up. Oh no, they broke through the wall. No, our own companion is trying to kill us. I can't let that happen. I had to take him down, but at least we survived. The zombies destroyed the wall right at the very end. Thank God we managed to stop all of them before it was too late. The golems didn't make it either, but they held the center of the village long enough to keep the civilians safe. Every single civilian is out there right now, walking around like it's a normal day. We protected them. We survived 50 brutal days in a world that never stopped trying to kill us. If you enjoyed the video, subscribing and leaving a like genuinely helps more than you know, and drop a comment. Do you want to see us push all the way to 100 days with hordes even bigger and more brutal than anything we faced here? See you in the next one.